Welcome back, y'all. I'm glad y'all tuned in with us again. This is gonna be a special episode. My name is Aaron.
My name Quiz.
It's big.
Yeah, so we're gonna dive right on in, man. How y'all first week was in school, full week of school this past week?
It was cool. It was a lot going on. Um, but it was good though. I'm excited about my classes and stuff. They all seem to kind of align with one another. So I'm excited.
Man, you know how mine was, man. I've been on the phone with y'all all week about my week. It was good though. It was good. It was good, man. We making a lot of treadway.
Okay, so what made it so good, man? Did y'all have any kind of events this week or special classes y'all want to highlight?
Oh yeah. We had that student organization fair this week. So of course we're all a part of manners, which is minorities in agriculture, natural resources, and related sciences. And, we had the opportunity to set up a table at the student organization fair, get students signed up and tell them what manners was and get them involved in, what was going on with manners and get them signed up. So that was cool to see how many students were actually receptive to what agriculture is and what qualifies as a related uh, science or related, business field to agriculture. So that was cool, man. Just to mingle with those folks and get them signed up. And also the kickoff this weekend that we attended with Manners. That was real cool, very informative. Got a lot of good information from those guys. So shout out to Manners.
Yeah, that was informative yesterday as far as like the manners national kickoff. But y'all know how I feel about that egg dog kickoff.
No boy.
I missed it. I missed it. I missed the Ad Dog kickoff, so I did not get my annual Ad Dog kickoff shirt this year because I had class. I was so upset because these people are on time and they gonna get up out of there when they say they're gonna get up out of there. So it wasn't no hanging over. It wasn't like my good HBCU party where the party never stop until them sirens pull up. I'm just playing, but but man, I was excited to. I thought I was gonna be able to go, but I was like, nah, I couldn't make it. But I'm excited because we got an event tomorrow. For Manners, we're gonna have like an ice cream social, just getting everybody adjusted to the new school year and what we plan on doing. Just a little ice cream social, just do little icebreakers and just chill, just relax, find out, hey, what's your name? What department are you in? Because the College of Ag here is so huge. Like it's ridiculous how big it is because the College of Ag itself is one entity. Within like we have students who are in like College of Veterinary Medicine, College of Family Consumer Sciences, which I like to say like we closely related. We're like all cousins, but we still pretty much still fall under that ag umbrella when you're talking about as far as like extension work. So what about you, Vic? We gotta hear something that you enjoyed this week because we know every day in the life of your life.
Whatever.
Wait.
We had we didn't have no crazy events. All of our events are next week. We have our College of Ag and Life Science, kind of like a hokey fest. And then for the College of Ag and Life Sciences. And then we have like this thing called Gobbler Fest for the whole university. So all of the colleges and all the universities, all the colleges and the clubs and programs, like academic programs and all that stuff, you set up a table out on this place called the drill field here. It's like 2 football fields or like a football field and a half. And like every organization on campus fills up the drill field at Virginia Tech, and it's from 4 to 7. So that'll be next week. And then we have our own College of Ag and Life Science fest as well. So I'm excited.
Man, them folks don't play up there.
Dang, I must need to be a Hokie. How the chant go? I know we all talking real quick, but I just gotta throw this in. I know we was at a Manners conference this past year, the national conference, and when I tell you them folks with that Hokie pride,
they do have Hokie pride here. Lots of school pride.
I remember me and Vic was sitting at the table at the banquet, and one of the guys who represents, I think he on the national board, right?
Yeah,
He was about to go there to accept his position. I need that Hokie pride.
Yeah, he talking about, I need the chant. HOKIEF. Hokie.
Oh man, but I respect that, you know what I'm saying? Because you need some sense of pride as far as like what you're doing to get people fired up, and you can relate to it. Like, okay, yeah, he rocking with this. He make it hard. Like, okay, he got respect for this. Okay, I need to get myself together. But I'm glad y'all all had a first good school session. But this is what we want to talk about. Piggybacking off of last week is, what is a land grant institution? What is we can pop it off. So we got 3 different types of land grant institutions. We got 1862 land grant institution, 1890 land grant institution, then we got a 1994 what I think it's called a tribal land grant. So it falls under different rules, but it's still a land grant. So you get 1890s, 1862s, and 1994s. So they were all founded under the Morrill Act. Justin Morrill was a senator. What was he from? Vermont. And he had a push as far as like saying like, okay, ag is going to be always around, and using different scientific methods in the university system to make it effective in the community, especially back then in the 1800s, knowing that it was a big farm communities all over the nation and impacting all over the world. So saying, okay, we need to be at the forefront of this. And the 3 main pillars that we focus in at 1890 land grant or 1862s, or just land grant institutions as a whole, is teaching, research, and outreach, aka extension. Wherever you go, they might say outreach. Some people might say extension, but it's all used within different terms. But so teaching, research, and outreach around agriculture, scientific methods, whether it be social science or natural sciences. So that's what the 1890 is. 1862 is what just a land grant. So I'm already automatically gonna say 1890 because I didn't deal with 1890 so much, but just a land grant in general, and seeing how the land grant have evolved, and each of them are different though. Each of them are different because just say if you were in the state of Georgia, you have one 1890 and one 1862. With the exception, y'all can jump in for people like Alabama, who have 3. They have 2 1890s and one 1862. They have Alabama A&M University, Tuskegee University, which is private and a land grant. So they follow different rules. And the 1862 for Alabama is Auburn. But you have 19 1890 land grants in total. I think, don't quote me exactly, but I think it's 75 1862s, and I'm not sure how many 1994 tribal universities they are, but they're all over the country, and you can find them within each state, because agriculture is one of the top industries that you all should know by now by tuning into each of the episodes at the forefront in each state. Just fun fact, like Georgia, #1 producer for chicken in the nation. So we do a lot of research as far as around poultry. We had here in Georgia, we have the National United States Department of Agriculture National Poultry Center here, where we do a lot of research on poultry. So 1890s, 1862s, and 1994s are very vital to what the future of ag will be, as far as from the formal space, and doing a lot of research that impacts the food and natural resource industry, domestic and in the globe. So y'all want to tap in and tell them a little bit about what y'all experiences at 1890 or 1862, and just what else fun facts y'all know about the land grant system?
I know a fun fact. The class that I teach, the lesson that I like to teach on is on land grant universities. So it's always nice when the students don't even know that they even go to a big research one land grant university. But something a nugget that I try to leave them with is, well, a fun fact is that most of your colleges that are, or land grant universities that are in the Southeast or the Black Belt, so to say. So from Texas all the way up to Virginia have 2 land-grant universities in those states. And reason being is because that was the Jim Crow era, heavy in segregation and civil rights and all that stuff. And so even back further beyond civil rights, in order for those universities, those PWIs, those 1862 land grants to get funded, they had to establish in 1890. And also with that, show that in their not recruitment, in their admissions office, that there was no what the word am I looking for? It's right there at the tip of my tongue.
No biases in the application.
There we go. Yeah, there were no biases or discrimination in their admission process. And so they had to establish an 1890 university during that time. So that's why most of the states in the Southeast have 2 land grants, because in order for the PWIs, the 62s to get funded, they had to establish a 90.
Yeah, and they also get funded from the federal and the state level, as far as funding levels. But that funding gets very tricky, but it's all, and also I wanted to add too, we saw this week, we had a lot of feedback as far as the post we put out as far as like, what is a land grant institution and how can I be a part of applying for these applications to get into these schools. So all these schools are dedicated and surrounded, like agriculture is the core for each of these institutions. The 1890s, 1862s, 1994s, agriculture is the core. So all of these schools, I think as of now, because it was some discrepancies before, but as of now, 2022, all of them have a college of ag and related areas surrounding. So I know you want to say something, Quiz.
Yeah, I was just gonna piggyback off what you were talking about concerning land grant institutions and what the purpose of them was and what the purpose of them still is. I got a lot of questions this week about like what a land grant institution was and how to be involved. Not really understanding that a lot of people didn't even know what land grant institutions were or what the purpose of them were. So what you saying, they were the core value of those land grant institutions was agriculture, kind of makes me think about, the experiment stations that were set up originally with the land grant that gave the people in the community the opportunity to come voice their opinions or their troubles with the extension or with the university and try to figure out what solutions would be best for their farms or for their gardens or whatever they had in their area. So I feel like the land grant mission was very, very important in making those decisions as far as like what the land grant institution would stand for and what it was for. So for all of us coming from a land grant institution, it's real important for us, especially being in ag, because that's what they were made for. So particularly at my land grant institution, which is an institution that we all went to, South Carolina State University, there has been some discrepancies with the college of ag, but we back on track, trying to get there anyway. So that's real big for our university, just being involved with that university. I've noticed that I've gained more of a passion for agriculture and understanding the importance of agriculture. So just being able to reach out to people this week and tell them the importance of agriculture and about the land grant mission, it was dope.
Yeah, so I think too, I know we have any critics or just people who gonna be harsh on what we're saying. It's a whole lot more legislative stuff that go involved for like Hatch Act, Smith Lever Act, and all that type of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which make up the land grant system, and very important as far as when you start diving into what research encompasses, and especially extension, as far as getting the federal and state funds to go out here and do this outreach to the community, bridging the gap between the communities and the former institutions. So, but I know the biggest thing, y'all say, okay, cool, they gave us a little background, a little history. Y'all want to know, how do I get that money?
That's what everybody been asking. How I get that money?
I
Where
get
do
that
I sign
money.
up?
Yeah, like the black people don't. Okay, that history cool. You know what I'm saying? But how do I get to the money? So let's tap in and we're just gonna do a little brief overview. It's not gonna be in depth. If you want to know any more information, email us or DM us on social media. So the first scholarship I'm gonna pull up is the USDA 1890 National Scholars Program, and just give you a brief overview where you can find it and what you can do with it. So, can everyone see the screen?
Oh yeah, we in a.
So, simplest get out, if you go on Google and type in USDA 1890 Scholars Program, you will see what it is, the program overview. And this is for your 1890 universities. So at the 19 black historically black universities, at 19 of the 19 universities throughout the country. So you got from Alabama A&M all the way to West Virginia State. This is where the scholarship is can be applied for. If you see yourself being in any of those schools, the goal, which is these are all the majors, and it may be some more majors within the College of Ag at your school. Just have to check at your local or at your regional school or whatever school you plan on applying to. And let's get down to the nitty gritty of the award. Ooh, I zoned in too much. The award, they want to know what it really is. So you see it right here where it says scholarships are awarded annually. So this is every year it goes out. It must be used at one of the 1890 historically black land-grant universities. Each award provides full tuition as well as room and board for the term of the scholarship. The scholarship may be renewed each year, contingent on satisfactory academic performance. SAP, SAP. You're gonna hear that word a lot going to college. SAP, and normal progress towards a bachelor's degree. So these are just the requirements underneath, as far as like if you're a high school student going into becoming an incoming freshman, or if you're applying already at one of these 19 land grant schools. And the scholarship said it's coming out in January. It comes out. Oh, the deadline is in January, and most of the application processes I didn't see open up between like October and November. So you got time just to go through and pace yourself as far as resume. There's a lot of different things that come along with it. The best advice I could give, if you know, and if the information is provided, is to reach out to the school that you want to go to, like the College of Ag, and reach out to the USDA liaison, because at most of these schools, these are the people who oversee the scholarship. Um, Anything else y'all want to tap in and say about the 1890 scholarship, Kelly or Vic, for quiz?
Yeah, you pretty much covered it all, man. The most important thing that you just said was just tapping into that land grant institution that you're looking at. Number one step is applying. Number two is just checking into that land grant institution and seeing what scholarships they have available, because they have, you know, a plethora of scholarships available at these universities within their College of Ags, typically. So this is just one of the many scholarships that you could, you know, receive being a student at land grant institutions. Was particularly 1890 land grant institutions.
Yeah, and I will piggyback off what you said. Like, I don't know if you all will agree, but this is the best scholarship you can get if
Oh
you
yeah.
plan on majoring in ag. Really, pretty much at the school, unless you get. I don't even know about the Gates Millennium Scholarship Program. I know you applied for that coming out of high school. Did they say they was going to give you internships or place you in a position as far as career after you graduated with that scholarship? Or not? I'm not too familiar with that program.
Yeah, you get job placement when you finish Gates.
Okay, so yeah, this is a great scholarship, full ride, man. So if you have any, like I said, if you got any questions, email us or DM us on social media, and I'll let Quez go over the scholarship he has at his school at South Carolina State University.
Yeah, so at South Carolina State University, I am a Ag Innovation Scholar, which is also another USDA granted scholarship program. And in this program, it's a lot like the USDA Scholar program, but it's a little bit different. As in, every summer when you have internship opportunity, as you have internship opportunity with the USDA Scholar, with this one, they look for you to get internships every summer, but they don't provide you with an internship. So you don't have like job placement and internship placement with this particular scholarship. But everything else is pretty much the same as far as full tuition, um room and board. You get $1,000 book voucher, and they check everything as far as what's going on with your grades and everything like that every semester. But the contract is renewed annually, like the USDA scholarship. So with the USDA scholarship, I think, what was the deadline? In January.
Yeah, that's in January.
Yeah, whereas this scholarship, the deadline is at the end of the spring semester. So late spring, around April, I want to say, typically is when they look for the application. Yeah, it says right here, June 20th, 2022. So that's old, but typically they look for that application towards the end of the spring semester, so you can get it before the fall. But it covers everything, like I said before. Tuition, room and board, meal plan, and everything like that. And then you get $1,000 book voucher every semester for anything you need towards your education, whether it be books, pencils, any type of school supplies. You get it pretty much. The only thing is you got to keep that 3.0 GPA. So they check that every semester. And you have to make sure you had that 3.0 going into the next school term. So you got the fall and the spring, and then when you roll back around in the spring, you got to have that 3.0, or they're gonna take your scholarship. But having all these perks, it makes it real easy to make that decision. Make the right decisions as far as that goes. We do have like monthly meetings and stuff like that you have to attend. And they do have like tutorial workshops that you have to attend every week. Like you have to have so many hours and ag lab every week to keep the scholarship as well. And then they also have like professional development and ag speaker series that you have to attend monthly. But it's pretty much like the same thing with the USDA scholarship.
Okay, great, man. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Another thing I want to say, as far as just the program that I'm in, and Vic is in as well, is a graduate program, where the program that we in, they cover tuition and other little miscellaneous things, but we still have to pay fees. The amount changes each semester sometimes. I know they've been trying to fight to get the fees down, and they have. So I pay the lowest amount I've been paid this year, probably been like $500. But think about it, $500, masters of PhD, you can't beat that. I don't know where you're gonna get that from. So that's one thing I wanted to put out there too, because yeah, they paying for you to go to school, but you're getting a stipend each month as well. So they give you money each month. Uh, so it pretty much is paid for. Say if you just didn't spend any money that month, you can pay all your fees up for housing and things like that throughout the semester. So anything else you want to tap in and say, Vic?
I think you covered it.
Could both of y'all kind of explain a little bit like about y'all assistantships and what they require and what they look for from a student getting an assistantship at a land grant institution?
You wanna?
Okay, well, I'll tap in first. Before you get into assistantship, I want to make sure y'all understand the process of getting into the graduate program, especially at a land grant school. If you want to study ag, we'll go in depth a little bit more on another episode, and have a separate just entity just far as the application process for at undergraduate level and the graduate level. But as far as assistantship goes, I do evaluation work through extension. So we evaluate different programs throughout the state, whether it be youth development programs, 4-H programs, um, family consumer sciences, agriculture, natural resources, anything within the extension realm. we evaluate them programs, come up with surveys, design surveys, as well as implement as far as future recommendations, what can be applied to the program to make the program better. So I do a lot of evaluation research as far as my assistantship. I'm required to do 20 hours a week for my assistantship, and that's pretty much it. I'm on a 12-month appointment for my assistantship, so that means every month I don't have to look for funding during the summertime, but I have to be a full-time student. I have to register for a minimum of 12 hours. So really, it could be 3 classes. In the fourth class, if they're all 3 credit hours, the fourth class would be like a seminar or research or something like that. So 12 credit hours for my assistantship is the requirement, and 20 hours a week.
And for me, I'm a George Washington Carver scholar, which is a graduate program, fellowship program, assistantship program at Virginia Tech. Other universities have similar programs with different requirements for students to get in, but you apply to Carver. I didn't apply to Carver. I applied to the program and then found out that that's where my funding was coming from. But you essentially apply to Carver. Carver funds up to 3 to 4 years of your PhD program, but they also fund master's students as well through their 2 years of their program, and you also receive a stipend. I guess the unique thing about Carver is that your assistantship, you're funded through Carver, but your assistantship, the work that you do is essentially under your advisor or under a different supervisor, and then you have your advisor. And my assignment is a 9-month assignment. So in the summertime, I'm not required to take courses, and I have to find funding, which is fine because I have resources and a good network where I can kind of tap into and get work outside of my normal school work that I was doing to kind of get some experiences in the area that I think I want to work in. So that's Carver.
That's great that you mentioned what the fellowship program is, and we're in an identical program, so a lot of things may be the same, but a lot of things are different, and depending on what department you trying to go into, and they have different opportunities, because I know some people in my department have assistantships, and they might be international students, and they're part of my program, but they're funded through like I got a student in my department from Pakistan. The Pakistani government pays him to go to school. So assistantship, it looks different for everybody, but that's the main thing as far as like when you look for graduate school programs or just undergraduate programs as well, seeing who can fund you to go to school, and especially if you look into agriculture, the money's out there, but you really have to sit down and take the time and ask those necessary questions to get you into those doors. And like I was saying earlier in a couple episodes earlier, as far as building those relationships, so you can see where the money is at, because the money is there. It's just building those relationships and putting yourself out there. And then when you get the opportunity, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on your end, as far as the classwork and doing those 20 hours or whatever's required for you, whether it be study hall, like how you mentioned quiz, or Kelly was talking about as far as expanding her network so she can get funding throughout the summertime when her appointment is up or restarting. So anything else y'all want to add, man?
I will say, the biggest thing with Carver is that it's a fellowship program for underrepresented groups and students that come from Appalachia. So though they're white, but they are still considered they still considered underserved because they come from the Appalachia region. So, and it's also open to not only just ag and life science students, but STEM, so engineering, some of the neurosciences. So we get students kind of entomology, an array of students, but it's ag and STEM, and it's a minority underrepresented fellowship program.
Okay. Yeah, and one question we had today, we saw people want to know what is the exact major that you go to school for now, and how would you be able to use it once you graduate?
Well, I'm studying ag leadership, agricultural leadership, and community education. There's a few things we can do. We can go into corporate, we can go into government, go into working for the people. So government work, corporate work or academia work, community-based work, nonprofit work, as it relates to agriculture. For me, I want to be a dean, but I know I have to work within the academic system to get to that point. So that means being in the classroom, working with the extension, just a few different things. But I mean, it's a lot you can do. Few sectors that you can go in as it relates to agriculture.
Yeah, same for me. I'm in the same identical program, just at a different university. So what about you, Quiz, man? We know you getting up out of there soon, man. So what you go to school for? What you plan on doing, man?
Well, I'm a nutritional science major within our College of Ag, which is also with our Family and Consumer Science department. And I study nutritional sciences. There's a lot of things that you can do with that. You can go into dietetics, you can go into nutrition, whether it be sports nutrition. It also sets a lot of people up to go to medical school, if that's what you want to do or not. But it also sets you up to do a lot of different array of things going to the graduate school level, whether you want to go into agricultural sciences, plant, meat, animal, or whatever the case that may be, or whether you wanted to go into vet sciences. So it's a lot of science. It's very, very science driven, and it gives you the background that you need to excel in pretty much any science program that you would like to go into going into graduate school. But the primary focus at my university in the nutritional science program is producing dietitians and nutritional scientists. So when I say nutritional sciences, I'm talking about the people that help you with diets and stuff like that, help you create diets and stuff like that. People that work with like I said, sports, with people that work with athletes, like
sports
like
nutrition,
athletic nutritionists, people that help them with their diets, help them with their health and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what you can do with my major. But like I said, you can go into a lot of different things because of the science driven background. You can go into a lot of different things at the next level.
Yeah, so I want to just wrap up and let you all know we're gonna do things in phases for the next episodes. Next week we're gonna dive in more so as far as like what to look for, how to look for scholarships at the undergraduate level, like incoming freshmen, or if you already enrolled at one of 19 land grant 1890 land grant universities, or even at the 1862 university as far as at the bachelor's level, then we proceed after that the master's PhD level. So that'll be the next series. This is the beginning of the series so far as development, as far as scholarships, looking at seeing what to look for you all, to engage you all. So if you are interested in going to school for ag and the related fields, this is the place to be. Glad to see y'all tapped in. I know we're a little bit more serious this episode, getting down talking about handling business, but business is always necessary when you're talking about anything, a part of life. I'm glad y'all tapped in with us this week. We'll see y'all again next week. Hopefully y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads ready and y'all took some good notes this week. Appreciate it.